Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop. I am John with Jeremy. We are talking about
another guitar video.
O guitars today.
Quadruple
O's.
4 O's.
That is quadruple O's. Anyway, we'll do that right after this. Welcome back. This is actually a kind of cool guitar right here, Jared. We're going to talk about
unique.
Preston Thompson quadruple O guitar.
They're stepping it up with the O's.
They have one extra O than most.
Yes, they've out-O'd everyone else. Before we get to the details of this guitar, we want to invite you to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're coming back from another video, thank you. We appreciate that. I don't know why you did it, but we are glad you're back.
They actually came from a fishing video. It was like this guy was casting, and then the next thing on the list, quadruple O's.
Yes, somehow that it's an algorithm on YouTube. They understand you better than you do. So there's a reason that you jumped from fishing to this guitar. If you do want to skip all the talking, we do have a video with that full performance in it. And also at the end of this video, we have tone samples. So you can skip all this
a little bit of Tom Petty
banter.
and his last dance. You know what I'm talking about.
It had a pretty lady in it.
It did.
Pretty dead lady.
Jeremy loved that video when it came out. Anyway, like Jeremy said, you skip to the end of this, see a tone sample of this. Please do subscribe though, and like and comment and talk about this, because we want to talk about more of these kind of guitars and pretty ladies in videos of Tom Petty.
How many O's is too many O's? We would like your opinion on that. When we get to the quintet O.
Quintet O.
Then we know we've gone too far.
Quintuple O. Quintuple O.
You just moved to the next. O is supposed to be aught, so it's supposed to be a zero, right?
That's right. Yeah, so I guess it's worth talking about that. Most of the guitars,
Parlor ought to talk about that.
We ought to talk about that. All right, so parlor guitars has become a term that I find very funny. Keep people all the time come in the shop and they go, I want a parlor guitar. And I'm like, an O, a double O, or a triple O? And every one of them looks at me like.
And some manufacturers are actually designated with a P for parlor.
Yeah, it's very strange. Parlor is a kind of a generic term that was used for smaller bodied guitars that were to be played in a small place like your parlor.
And I got to say, do you know anyone that has a parlor now?
I wish I had a parlor.
A living room,
I want
den,
a parlor,
maybe.
I want a parlor where I could have my friends over. I would have no friends, but I want to be able to have a parlor that I could have friends over in.
And just play your guitar for them.
That would be it. And again, zero of them would show up. But I just go.
But yes, that was the original intent. When people did have parlors, they were talking back in the 1800s, when you didn't have a television room and a pool room, maybe.
That's right. It
was the parlor, and you would have friends over, and somebody that was a guitar player would play their guitar in the parlor.
Or your daughter, and they would have a recital. One would play a violin, maybe, and sing a song, and a piano, and a guitar. And
we actually have one of those. We have an early Martin guitar, which is actually their Style 17, I believe it is.
I think you're right.
They would call that just a parlor guitar, really small body. So that would be what, considered a single O?
That was actually smaller than that. Style 17 was smaller than a single O. The majority of body shapes that became popular that would be all considered parlor guitars, the single O, the double O, and the triple O, or aughts, as they also
The more
were known.
aughts you have, the bigger it is.
That's right. Single O, small guitar. Double O, slightly bigger, and then triple O.
We're talking both the body and the depths of the body too, correct?
To a degree. I think most of the depths actually kept pretty close to the same ones. There's just a bigger overall body shape. And again, this was broadly done because it wasn't just Martin who did this. It was Washburn that built single O's. Gibson guitars were doing the L-double-O.
We got a couple. We got an O back there. That was some nice.
Little guys. That one's that's not an old one, but anyway, this was lots of really cool guitars that were under the parlor deal. There was also a quadruple O that was built, and people have made different versions of the quadruple O, and then it now has come back as a a Thompson body. I don't know why I said Taylor body. Thompson body. Yeah, there you go. And this was actually not originally called a quadruple O by Thompson. They actually had another designation for it, and now has been standardized as their quadruple O.
So this is in between like a triple O and a Dreadnought, right?
It is. It's almost like, to me, this is like a slightly smaller Dreadnought. Another designation that's very similar to this, Martin built a guitar called the M body. And it also was bigger than an OM and not quite a Dreadnought. This has more of the depth of an OM or a smaller body guitar, but has that bigger lower bout, a little bit more shrunken waist space, not as big as the Dread. but yet has a lot of the depth of a Dreadnought guitar, not as much, well, I said depth, but a tone-wise depth of the Dreadnought guitar. And then this guitar is done as a maple back and sides. Now, I'll give you a little backstory. I actually got 2 different guitars that came in here. These were built actually a few years ago, I believe in 2018. I'll look out in the paperwork to make sure on that. And they were built for another dealership that went out of business and is no longer there. They were brand new guitars, and they made their way back to Thompson so they're still brand new guitars, custom built for another music store that is no longer available. This is one of them. Has the this is a model quadruple O. I'm going to look up my paper here. It is a CWJMS.
Sure.
I don't know what all those letters mean, but I'm sure to somebody it means a lot. And I do know that the M and the S at the end, I'm pretty sure, stand for Maple Sitka Spruce Top. What is customized about this? Florentine cutaway right here. That's the sharp, pointy kind. That's the one that, you know, if you're getting too fast, you're going to cut yourself on this.
Well, your hand shouldn't be down that low anyway. It kind of looks like they just took the actual body shape and cut it out there.
They did.
Unlike some of the more, what do they call that? The
Venetian?
Venetian that has a little bit more rounded edge. And it's, I guess they both do the same thing, I assume. They just have a different look to them.
Yeah, it's just a different look. And again, you can put your comments of what you like better, the Venetian or the Florentine cutaway. I know Jackson, huge fan of the Florentine cutaways. But anyway, this has a honey amber toner with an absolutely exquisite maple back and sides. Now, this particular maple back and sides is pretty cool because it actually goes from this very tiger stripe to almost this quilty look at the top of here. It
just kind of looks like it's falling off the sides. It is a gorgeous piece of wood selected for that. It is a mix between like a tiger stripe maple or what would you call that? Let's say
a quilted. Kind of, I don't know what you want to call it.
Beautiful. That's what I call it.
It also has a maple backstrip, which you probably saw in that deal, that was not colored, and it gives it a really kind of cool contrast in there. Maple neck as well, bound fretboard, bound peg head with that gorgeous Thompson logo up top. Done. Now, what's cool about these guitars? These were all signed by Preston Thompson before he passed, so this kind of makes both of these guitars really special and a way to kind of get into some history. As if you're a Thompson collector and lover like I am, it would be something that you can kind of take home as an actual Thompson
still brand new guitar.
Brand new guitar. Like I said, this is done in a quadruple O, bigger body shape, Sitka top, maple back and sides. Does have the 1 3/4 nut width, maple neck. This is a surprisingly good sounding guitar. Has tons of depth. Still has the articulation with that maple combination of the bigger body. It has a lot of that kind of high-end articulation. I like it a lot.
If Tom Petty played a guitar, it would be this one, I imagine.
Maybe.
Maybe a cutaway version.
I'm not positive on that, but maybe.
Might as well have.
We're going to go with that.
Sounded good.
All right, there you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get you a little tone sample of it, and I hope you enjoy that.
appreciate you guys watching that video. It was my favorite one we've made so far. We've done hundreds of videos, and that was the best one.
It was.
And the next one's going to be even better. If you'd like to see that, be sure you subscribe to this channel. And also, the more you comment and interact below, the more the YouTube algorithms pick it up and start pushing it out to other people, like-minded people.
Algorithms?
Algorithms, they're everywhere. They permeate the internet, and YouTube's got one, and it watches our videos, and it sees how much you comment, and then it pushes us to other people like you. And we want everyone to experience the acoustic shop world, where we talk about instruments, we do reviews, we got some fun videos coming up. We thank you guys so much for being a part of it, and we'll see you in the next video.